Hello, everybody. Hi, Kyle. Good morning. Kind of like I continue to have this conversations because of the astrology report. Was kind of like it's gonna be too long for you. So we move to the questions and answers about twin flames. I hope most of you is gonna coming up here. Margaret, thank you for joining in. Kyle, just post your questions so the other knows those questions, if you don't mind. And Lisa, thank you for coming back here. I hope you guys had like a little break. Maybe I can do a video conferences like this for like 2 days workshops instead of me traveling around the world and just stay here and do my wisdom energy work. Hi, Danny. Thank you for coming here. Glad that you are here in the chat. Um, uh, the things about twin flames is not new. It's originated long time ago. And if you have to be politically or technically or however truthfully correct, okay, all of us we've been into this giant black hole and we talk there, we everything was there, and the spiritual energy, the physical energy, the vibrations, all that stuff, okay. When that hole blew up, then poof, and we've been looking for each other, you know, each other. And hi, Namrata. Wow, thank you for being here. Uh, and um, so now you're here in this transition period. You're usually in the transition periods. Twin flames, it's increasingly high because of the love, the couple of the love they have on together, and that love brings this expansion. Okay, brings this energy that we produce and we send that love out in the universe, and the universe is happy and we're happy. Okay, you can meet your twin flame basically like in periods. Okay, and there is a special twin flames that comes in, and I mean throughout the history you will see how powerful couple did something. Okay, on whatever sphere of life they are. Okay, um, I mean, it has been known in Greece. It's been known in to the Egyptian mythology. It's been known into Arabic world. Okay, it's been known so much in the Hindu world. All right, it's been known. It's been known that this is not what this is. Okay, and Aristotle, which was Greek philosopher, finally, says like, if you want to find out what love is, it is a one soul who coexists in two bodies, and that's what twin flame is. It's one energy that coexists in the same two bodies. That's it. One vibe, one vibration, one thing. Okay, so back then. In Greece, there was a different culture. Back then, there was different things. There was a Byzantine Empire. There was a lot of knowledge. There was this philosophy. I mean, great philosophy things that some of us we're not obeying this philosophy, and that's why we're living in this toxic world. Okay, I will say toxic, and I will tell you why it's toxic because of. You go out and look at the new music, points out that way. You go out and look at the information in the last 5 years. I mean, the movies that comes out in the past maybe years as well, since the beginning of 90s. There was this gradually downfall pit of the society and the world. Okay, don't mix the stuff with the politicals. Okay, let me tell you about the political things. Uh, Most political things right now it's toxic to the bone, so I don't even want to even go there. I'm just disgusting. If you want to look at it, I even have some people that you know, they ask me, Dio, what do you think about the political aspects when it comes to the astrology? And I'm like, don't even make me go over there, and I'll tell you why. Because the politics it's controlled by certain people, and I need to know what these certain people are like energy. Since I cannot have and obtain that certain information, I can't tell you what are they going to do or what the situation will be. The energy that we have here, it's for all of us. It doesn't matter. We are all in this home called Earth. And some people they think that the Earth is their property, but yeah, well, that's only for egoistic minds that they believe this. It doesn't matter how educated they are. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter. I don't give a crap how rich they are. Okay. Some people think that they can own the world, and I don't think so. All right. So, Lisa, thank you for being here. Ray of Light, thank you for being here. And Kyle, thanks for your questions. So here is the begin that I never heard of twin flame before I met mine. Oh, we're all in the same boat. You learned about the twin flame term when you awaken. I mean, gosh, to me, it took me like month and a half ago, probably struggle with it. First of all, I didn't know what it was. I was like beating my head over the wall. I'm waking up at 3 o'clock, and I was looking for love, strongest love, and looking at it, looking at. Then one night it comes into me. It's like go research soul love. So here it goes. I find agape and a soul love, and digging into it, and I'm talking about 7, 8 years, 9 years ago, something like that. Back then, the word twin flame was kind of like non-existent in my dictionary or even in the Facebook or whatever. Josh 1222, I am buzzing still. Yes, Josh, just hold yourself there. All right. Um, so I was looking at the one article, and they were talking about twin flames there, and I'm like, twin flames, what the heck that is? I don't like it. So here it is. I closed everything. I had to go to work. Next night, get up again. We're doing research. End up in the same article. Twin flames. What the heck this thing is? No, it's impossible. What is this twin flame? Those are ring bells. So here is another night. I'm going doing research. I mean, from 3 till 5:30 in the morning. That's a 2.5 hours piece when everybody sleeps. And I'm down there in my computer, and everybody sleep. My ex-wife and the kids, and okay. And I had a rabbit, and sometimes take the rabbit out with me and get him to pet it. And it's been crazy. So anyway, looking at that, and I click on the twin flame and begin to look the informations about twin flames, and they explained very loud and clear what twin flame is, how to begin, and all the stages. And here is Mr. Dio, got his proof. And all excited and powerful, and then everybody else out there, and everybody's like, Dio, are you out of your mind? How many of you had that when you actually find information on the twin flames, and you trying to explain your friends, maybe relatives or co-workers or even your person who wakes you up? It's up to them if they can become the twin flame. Okay, that's we are going to discuss this. All right, because soul connections, you can have quite a few things, but are you going to reach the state of being a true twin flame? Because you can be label yourself as twin flame, but if you're not a true twin flame, guess what? There is no truth in there, and that's why you're not a true twin flame. That's why you're not in the union. And we are going to be talking about this right now. Okay, so I speak about TFs to my twin, telling him we're twins. He just listened, but it doesn't tell me the connection like no other. Listen, but this tells me the connection is like no other. Rate of light, yes, there's going to be a portion of them that will recognize this, but if the lack of truth in a soul is not there, or they don't want to admit in 100%, okay, they're not going to activate the 100% power of the twin flame. They may have something, maybe they have 5-10% admissions and something like this. They might feel, well, yeah, I feel like that, but every time you hear but, they're not ready. Okay, when they're ready, you will know. They will come to you and they're gonna be in this, I'm sorry, blah blah blah. I didn't realize that now everything is in me, but most of the times it's too late. Because I had a lot of twin flames back in the days when I begin to help a lot of the twin flames. Gosh, I was like going to work 8 hours and 10. I had a second job, 8 hours to helping the twin flames around the world. There was a time like I'm going like at maybe 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the bed, and I gotta get up at 6:30. But guess what? The energy of the twin flame kept me going. The help that I was doing, the thing that I was doing back then, there was a lot of us as a twin flames who were helping. I was bringing a lot of people waking up, a lot of people on board with this. A lot of the people, they grew up from this. I did workshops. We raised the vibrations. God. And all that took a snowball effect, because when I begin to do the workshops, and the people learn how to do the workshops, and then they begin to do the workshops, and then people like them, they begin to do workshops. It was this giant snowball effect of all this awakening energy. But I had to use that because inside of me it was like couldn't stand all this. Okay, but that is about these confirmations of the twin flames and the stages that you go through as a twin flame until you get into the bottom, the illumination state. Okay, that is the illumination state. That is when you're a true twin flame, when you speak your truth. You don't give a crap you're with them or not with them. You just lift everything up to the hands of the universe, and you get this illumination from within, that you're in your own power. You have to be in your own power. You are not in your own power as a twin flame. Guess what? You get into the codependency. If there is a codependency, you're never going to be with your twin flame. Period. That's it. You may even going to be having a hard time living with this energy, and it cannot be performing. Okay, that's what this inspiration, that's what these talks are all about. It is about your truth. You don't get in the truth. You don't understand. I don't know how many twin flames I've been talking about this. The truth is actually the key. The key, that is the ink that it's in the Egyptians all over the place. It's Venus. Okay, you guys gotta get it. Love solves everything. Okay, love, but the love, it is that the trust is got to be there. The true trust, but of who? The trust of the divine in you. When I use they see and they know you are the truth, then you get these divine powers more and more. That's how you get this. That is a cooperation, not a manipulation, not manifestations. This is a cooperation. You're working here with divine powers, most of the time beyond your understanding. Okay, but that's what is good part. Um, okay, Kyle, thanks for your questions. By the way, they're pretty good, and that's why I ask you to bring it in here. Hi, beloved Empress. Carl, Lucy, hi. I will answer the questions in order they were written because otherwise I lost myself. Um, Heidi, I have a question. The soulmate came to your life, co-workers, etc. Why they're all so broken that even normal? And it's that even normal. You need to understand when you get this people that comes in as a soulmate, as the twin flames, and they wake you up and they are broken. What is broken in them, though? Your job is to figure out what is broken and then help them. But, okay, let me tell you this, that it's not your job to do their inner work for them. If they're not true, if they're lying, or they push you away because of any social norms or religions or friends or family, mom, dad, or whatever the case is, you guys have no idea. Those are karmic lessons. And sometimes a lot of the twin flames, they don't get because of this. All right. But they are like this. So you can learn these powers of healing of the soul to give it, to always give love, to show what God is through you. What God is through you. That's how God works, through you. That's what God wants you to have a relationship with. That's what the divine wants to have a relationship with you. But guess what? You focus on something else, you move into something else, and you're not going in the right direction. Guess what? Here we go. Tower moment, crash. I crashed so many times. But guess what? I learn every time. I learn. You're attracting same people. Why? You're attracting same people because you're still codependent. You only attract the energy that is from within. Instead of 100% you trust the divine, and divine sends you a person that is opposite of you. If you're 100% honest, they're probably 100% dishonest. Okay, so you can learn what that is. You can learn what these cases are, because by they learning their dishonesty, you show it to their face, you shove them on their face. They look the example of you, how to become honest. That's what draws them to God. Once they taste that from God, then that's a whole another story. But if they don't act, they act upon their desires, okay, the ego, and guess what happens? They just bolt out. They're running. Why? Because it was only desires. There was no truth in there. That's what happens to a lot of it. Okay? And we don't have to heal soulmate, right? Healing of the soulmates, you can give them an energy. You can show them the road. You can do a Reiki on them. But let me tell you, the person has to do here, cleaning up the head. There was a one picture today on Facebook. Let me see if I can pull that out for you. Okay. I know I shared it today and somebody liked it. There he is. Okay. Here we go. So it says here, the hardest cleaning. Oh, the hardest cleaning is inside of you. Okay. And I won't read you the comments because they're in Bulgarian, but that's what this is. Your hardest cleaning. Okay. And you can show them the spider webs. You can give them a vacuum. But guess what? They have to take the vacuum and they have to pick up the spider webs. Not you. And a lot of the times when the twin flames, they pinpoint the problems. They're using it, this is a, like you're trying to control them, how they're supposed to be. Another deceiving perception of this stage. That's what the separation is, because people don't understand the difference between showing up your spider webs and help him to get better, and the desire of control. That is because they like to be under control. Ego. Okay, you need to understand love doesn't need control. Love just exists the way it is. And if you're trying to control love, then you going down the hill. You can't control love. That's what separations is. Just being there with them is enough. Just being there with them is not really enough at some point. You need to understand that if you're with them, if you're with them, you are going to find a reason why you're with them. You are right there for one purpose. It's called energy exchange between you, them, and the divine. You are there to show up miracles. You are there to perform destiny. You are there to help them, to make the life better, to create. That's what you're there for. A lot of the time, the people don't understand that it's what's the creation. Well, the creation is the same thing like you get in a normal relationship. What are you doing in a normal relationship? You establish the basic things. Okay? Establish the basic things so you can be okay. But if you cannot establish the basic things, guess what? You want to be able to build on anything. There is no base. And if it's a base out of wood and you're trying to build this big, huge twin flame castle on it, that castle is going to crumble. And that's what the one of the primary things is: build your financial security so you can be able to sustain all this. If you're the one person, I had a one case long time ago, he was a drug addict. Until he doesn't get out of the drugs, he was just like, I gotta have a drugs and I have to have it, but I love her. And every time when we are together and, everything is okay, but then something goes on in me and I have to go back to the drugs. What I gotta do? I told him, go to rehab. Go kick the habit for 21 days. Go put the love inside of you and the things. Okay, changed. Sometimes people can change, some don't. And kicking the habit and the twin flames, actually, it's a hard thing. Hard. You either accept the habit and accept the person the way it is, or sometimes you have to accept the things. But I won't suggest you to really watch this Indian movie if you ever know, India is probably the most heaviest producer of twin flame movies. Okay, and there's the one movie that is a Ashiki 2. Okay, kind of like he's got a warning if you're watching the kind of like the preview of the movie. And it says, careful, it might lead you to suicide thoughts, because the ending of the movie is not really great. But shows up all that problem in there with the addictions. What is your addictions are? Okay. All right. Let's see. Carl Lucy, hi Dio. I cut off all contacts with my TF. 2 years later, I still get reminder of him every day, constantly meeting a car like his, bumping into his brother, etc. Doesn't this ever stops? Lucy, how many unsaid things there is between you and the twin? Why did you separate it in the first place? How much ego fight was there? Because the ego fights is my desire, it's my point of view. Your desire, it's your point of view. How about if you guys have the same desires and you put the love and God from within? How that goes? Do you have a fight? No. Did that desires manifest? Yes. Do you put the work when you two working together? Yes. Ah, that's what it is. You surrender your desires. You surrender your ego. You obey your soul. You obey your twin. You obey God from within. You have this beautiful love. And then, guess what? If you go back to the old ways, you have some kind of addiction or some kind of bad habits that you develop as a human existence. Guess what? You hurt yourself, you hurt your twin, and God is kind of like with the big hammer over your head of the runner. You know, usually the runner suffer the most. The chaser suffers too, but usually the chaser kind of like learn at some point to work on themselves and come back up. The runner, I see some runners. I talk to some of the runners. They're the hardest people that you're going to talk. The only saving of the runner it's the confession of the truth. I have runners come to me and they confessed, and they're like, "Dio, what can I do now? We were 5 years separate, and he's got a new wife, and he's getting his new life, and I might write him a letter, explain, confess. At least you're gonna free up yourself. What else can you do? Your fear got onto it. Your fears got in there. Now the things doesn't go away. So yeah, I will go ahead and face my fears, Lucy, if I was you, and go ahead and talk to him. But wait until Mercury retrograde goes away, okay? Just wait, not now. All right. Lisa, my friend thought I was having a crisis and losing my mind. Yeah. You know what? So funny. Let me tell you this a little story here. So, there was a one person is like, dear, what the hell is this twin flames on it? And what is this crazy thing? So, because he was a Spanish thing, and I found this article in Spanish, and it was explaining everything there. And I'm like, I'll send you on a messenger. Next day, because I begin to be out and open as a twin flame, and the next day he's like, man, you're gonna be very famous as this, man. They all gonna know you. I'm sorry, the first time we were, acting like this, man. I'm sorry. I mean, damn, deal. First, they will reject you, and they're gonna learn, and then they're gonna join you. That is a path of the twin flames. They're gonna join you. They'll understand. And now they will want to become a twin flame. See, a lot of the people you go around, they are everywhere right now, and they're like everyone is looking for their twin flame. Okay, I mean, you can punch information. How can I find my twin flame on YouTube? You probably will see like so many speakers out there. It's how to manifest my twin flame, how to get into my twin flame, and so on and so on. It's got like you can see how many views on all that stuff, and I'm just sitting here, I'm just laughing around, I'm like, yeah, right, okay. You gotta have a death wish if you want to meet your twin flame, because your old self will die. There is something in you, you know. All those people, they want to find their twin flames, and they better gotta have some kind of like a death wish for this. They have no idea what that is, but they want it. But why? They have some kind of desires. What kind of desires? Have a beautiful life and think that their twin flame will fix their life. No, you. You have to fix your life. You have to become the twin flame. You, not your twin flame. You're still thinking the old way. Oh, I will get married for her and she's going to be cooking for me and she's going to wash me clothes and I'll be, sleeping with her and we're going to raise a family. We're going to be happy family. Old mentality. Very old mentality. That's a lot of people going out there and they're looking for that twin flame. Okay, they have no idea what are they going into it. Early in days, Lindy Cowling said one thing. Okay, she said many things, but I'm going to be kind of like quoting her. If you don't know who Lindy Cowling is, you better go on YouTube, put Lindy Cowling. Okay, and go find some of her videos, earliest videos on twin flames, and you understand. She said one thing. You may have a death wish if you want to find your twin flame, because when your twin flame comes in, everything's going to be upside down, and that's what happens. Everything is upside down. Donnie, you want the name of that movie? There you go. I posted the Ashiki too. All right, let's see. I'm so glad catching this live. You're welcome, beloved Empress. Josh, what is your take on a certain soul groups believe some twins are closely to Yeshua and Magdalene energies? All right. One thing we need to make it as a comment here, kind of like stop here. I will suggest you, Josh, to research Maria Magdalene, who she was, what happened in there, and why there is the religion forbade Saint Apostle Thomas, the unbeliever, his work to be added into the Bible. And 10, you can research Maria Magdalene work. And you can probably put that something wasn't right in there. Specifically on the Last Supper, when there was supposed to be things that happened. But someone was there, then walked out, and then somebody came here, and things went down the hill. And I won't talk about these situations because there is a kind of like has a lot of divine from within. Something wasn't quite right if you're going digging up to that particularly story. Okay. I'm still researching it myself, but so far what I found is not good. And that's what I'm going to end up in there. All right. Somebody had to see their own darkness and cooperate with the light in there, but they didn't do it. That's the whole story. I will end with this. Hey, Giuliano. Glad to have you here. There is another good soul in here. Truth is true love. Hello, Dio and all. Hi, Truth. If you're the truth and the truth is here, and the true love, here we go. What was the name of the movie? What is called? Uh, Hadita Ratanyan, what? Hi. Thanks for glad to having you here. Ray of Light, Bridges of Madison County is my favorite film. Did you realize till a few years later this was about twin flame? A lot of the things you won't recognize, but later on in life you will recognize was all about the twin flames. Back in the days, we had this old. We actually still have it in my mom's apartment. Well, God, that is a 40 something years old. It is one of these LP players, very old. And there was a Indian music LP that I like to play. And the song of there that I love and I like so much. If someone here is from India, they will understand Avara. But I'm talking about the Avara Hun that was made back in the 1953. Okay, I think so, 1953, 1952. Back in there, it was a black and white movie about twin flames. You watch that movie, you will understand karma, twin flames, and all the consequences when somebody gets involved with lies, somebody get involved with ego. You will probably understand what is a narcissistic mother, how that affects over its son, and what that affects it. And you will understand when the truth doesn't exist and the true love has to. And at the end of the movie, the true love, it exists there. I grew up with that music, but it took me quite a few years till I watched the movie. Recently, we watched it here with my roommate, who's also twin flame here, and he got it. He was like, "Man!" But that is a 1953. Do you know how many movies since 1953 are made about twin flames? So many of them. So many of them. Okay. I mean, go look at it upside down. Go look at it one night. Go look at it. Geez. I mean, I want to talk to you about the Notebook. You know, the Notebook. It's like in your eyes. Go see in your eyes. You know, kind of like superficial a little bit, but that movie is great. But yeah, the movies helped a lot to understand for. But if you really want to, you know, lately the West hasn't made kind of like a very good movies about twin flames. India is still making kind of like a good twin flame movies, good ones. You know, it's kind of like a very seldom. It's gonna be a movies that come up with some kind of like similar topic to this. Okay, let's see what else is going on with the chat. Ria, hi, thank you for being here. Even Avatar, yeah, I mean Avatar. If you take the Avatar, the big giant blue guys, or you take Avatar as the animation movie, they're both talking about this. But if you take a look, it took the soul and the spirit, especially in Avatar. Right now, we talk about this Mars. Here, you see that Mars that now it's going to enter areas. That was after this crushed moment. He had to let his human part of him to die because he wanted to protect the planet. Would you protect our planet like this? Would you burn to ashes your animal part in you, your desires, your ego? Uh-huh. Going deep. Yeah. All right, let's see the other questions for it. A lot of movies I've seen last year appears to be 12 movies to me. I was strangely directed to watch them. Something Got a Gift, The Matrix, Twilight, all had twin flame aspects. Fast row, if you're watching certain movies, they're about to help you what you need to work on it. I had to watch, I mean, at the beginning of The Awakening, gosh, you have no idea how many Indian movies I watched. I mean, I watched so many of them. Okay. I understand these vibrations. And I was connected back in the days with so many people from India. I mean, kind of like every day I have connection with India. Even today, I have somebody call me from India, and I got this thing with India. So I'm going to be going in India doing a twin flame workshop. Sooner or later, this thing will happen. Hopefully, I'm existing here. We'll see how this is going to turn out. Okay. What is the name of the other person? What person you talking about, Josh? Uh, can you talk a little bit about the bubble love stage, rate of light? The bubble love stage. That is the bubble love stage. It's first of all, that is the love that begins to exchange between the souls and the divine, and the beauty of the connection is to show you how beautiful is this. The bubble love, it is about to the desire to be together. I mean, you can't think about anything else. You only thinking about the other person and be with them and communicate and exchange energies with them. At some point, you will understand this is about collective breeding of the soul with the divine. Some can catch this on the bubble phase. Some will catch it on the premature union. Okay, when they're together. Uh, but in the bubble phase, it's basically this beautiful, innocent love where it combines everything. The inner childs are there, they're happy, they're playful. There's a lot of romantic. There is a lot of teenager love in there. I mean, kind of like you can break your legs over the stairs just to run up in your room and just get the phone and talk for hours. Okay, but in this bubble love, you basically understand this energies from within, energy with the stuff, and these long talks, they are about to establish the connections to create plans together, maybe looking a real estate together or plan your life together, and so on and so on. There's so many things. If you are in a a long distance relationship, the energy between you and the person is going to be the same when it on the physical. That's the bubble love. The bubble love has this beautiful ignition love that can sparkle everywhere. I mean, wherever you go, you are just this shining light, and everybody is like, hey, um, what did you drink? What did you smoke? What did you do? I mean, why you feel like this? I'm love. I'm love. I mean, I love her. I love him. I love her. And you're like in this little bit drunk on love state. You guys know what I'm talking about. You smile all of a sudden for out of nothing. And as soon as you smile, if your phone beeps and you see this heart with "I love you" or "baby" or whatever and story, and you got this like that is the beauty, but that is also the road to show you what it's for you, to show you that this love exists, you to feel it, you to understand it, you to grab it. But it hurts when you lose it because that bubble will burst because lack of truth, ego isn't there. It has to be cleaned, everything. You're not 100% true. You need to understand that 100% it is That's what determination of the true twin flame is. That 100%. Honesty, truth, love, everything that you can imagine. All right. I hope that kind of like with few words I explained this bubble love state. Uh, okay. Somewhere in time it's supposed to be TF movie as well. I'll watch that weekend. Uh, Great, faster roll watching those movies. I'm telling you, you're gonna learn a lot about these movies. You are going to get into this a state of understanding more yourself, and more you to look at it. Why the people are separated? Why the people are like this? I was just taking a break here between the two videos, and inside of me was Eric Clapton, "Tears of Heaven." I came in, I watched the clip, and I posted on the Facebook. Yeah, there you go. You got there. I mean, it's all about twin flames. We're attracting these things. You go somewhere, you go around, and it's like you hear a voice. I don't know what happened to it, but I feel so much like to him. I don't know what's wrong with me. And the next table at the coffee you're drinking every morning, and you just smile on it. It's like, damn, I know what that is. But guess what? If I need to talk to them, I'll talk to them. But I can enjoy my coffee. The universe hasn't told me to get them with them. So you're just sipping your coffee in the morning and you enjoy your coffee. That's how it goes. Hi, Donna. Thank you for being here. CJ. Oh, the bubble of, yeah, when it bursts. Yeah, well, why it burst? Because we don't have the basic human behaviors in order. That's what the bottom line is. How you getting your basic human behaviors? Bedtime stories. That's what that is. But guess what? When you become a little older, and guess what? Everybody tries to gain controls over you. And that control, specifically from control freaks parents, which is they had a control freak parents. Now those control freak parents, they want to control you. Woo. God bless their soul if you're a twin flame. You go burn them to the ground, those karmic connections. And I have no idea what's coming. Especially if you're different, and especially if you are blessed with powers beyond this mean. Because this cannot continue anymore. That's not continuous on it. And that bubble loft. Hi, Nuri. Thanks for having you here. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. My roommate says hi. I know you're laughing. Okay. What else we talk about here? Let me see. Blood Empress. I want to trust the process and let go of wanting to control it. Now we are a stronger supporter of each other. It's not a typical union. There you go. Beloved Empress. There you go. You gave up the control. And now it's not a typical union. Do you know why it's not a typical union? I can tell you. You begin more walking within the truth. Now it's feel more like true union with the divine purpose. And that will be good if you share some things in the chat here for it. But what happened when you decide to give up the control? Usually the feminine side controls the feelings, how they feel and how it's supposed to feel, while the masculine side is controlling the material parts. Okay, and guess what? If the feminine side doesn't understand the masculine, then there is a ego fight right there. All right, they have to be on the same page. And when they begin to on different page, or there is a third party involved, or there is a unspoken truth, or there was a breadcrumbing or so on. No, there is a control behind all this. Could be a lot of fears behind this. Could be a family. Could be uh, all sort of things behind all this. Okay, but now when you lose the control for it, then you entering in there. Petya and Andre, they say one thing: you're never gonna be end up being the truth with your twin flame until you don't really, really be on your own with your twin flame. On your own. You have no connections to family. You don't engage with karmic people. You don't engage with things. It's you, kids, and a family if you have a kids, or you and your twin. That's it. Because you're not allowed anybody to interfere with your twin flame relationship. But if you allowed something, someone, some reason, some cases to be between you and your twin flame, you are not a true twin flame. There is something, control, issues behind it. For all right, let's see. Where was I? Faster. Yeah, I feel some strange movies were popping in my mind to watch. I'm thinking there must be a message for me. Even the Indian movie was in my awareness too. You will feel the pain of the soul in these movies. One of the movie, it's called Hamari Adhuri Kahani. It's incredible a movie. Again, it's a sad movie, but there is another movie that, gosh, it's right in front of me as a picture, but I can't kind of like it was something. Let me see if I can be able to get it. Let me give you some little heads up in the chat here. Something Kargayevish was, but okay. There you go. That's one for you. There is another one for you. And there you go. That's the 3 Indian movies that I will kind of like suggesting you to go ahead and find and watch. Okay. To me, one of the most challenging things was to number one, learn the difference between surrender and indifference. Surrender. There's a three stages of soul evolution, and I spoke about this a long time ago. You have to trust the divine, and you have to surrender to divine, and you have to let it go of what the divine asking you to lose, even if that is the cost of your twin, because the divine mission, it's the primary concern. All the religions talk about surrender to God, and that's what this is the mean for it. Some of you maybe learn to surrender your ego, your pride. Somebody will understand you have to surrender the place you're living. You have to move to another place, another situations, another cases. But God sends you where He needs to send you for. It's all about this. And these situations with surrender, they're heavy. It will be heavy on you. Because the ego, if you take a look, it's got a positive aspect because it's protecting you. That's what you have to keep it. What you do is that you surrender your ego to control, manipulate, and do other things. Your ego exists in the divine purposes, even if you go up in the divine. The ego is still there to protect you. Why? Because the ego is going to come out and pop out and protect you when somebody tries to harm you. That's what that is. Ego exists only for protection, not for you to fear of doing things. Okay? So you might tell, yes, I do have a fears of doing things. Okay? But you can also say like, no, I don't have to believe in these fears. The fears are mine. By facing them, they're illusions. See what happens in you. All right. And number two, the ego death doesn't mean losing your opinion about things. There you go. Just said it. Ria, very beautiful inner work. Seems like you have been done. You seems like you did a lot of self-improvement, but also you work on your psyche inside of you to put everything in order. I kind of like have this mental strength as a twin flame to recognize all this and correct it. And let me tell you this, good job. Just by writing what you said, I can sense what you've been done. Can you explain mirror with two examples between twin flame? Mirroring. Oh boy, mirroring. Okay. Mirroring, that is when the brains of the two individuals using the mirroring neurons, they are coexist in the same frequency by using the CHAT part of the brain. Okay, medical terms to you, proven, it's working, and it's been medically proved. That's what this is. The mirroring effect is though, but that is one of the one person and the other, they have the same energy towards each other and they're reflecting the same energy to each other. They become one. They can, I mean, the masculine understands the feminine part, the feminine understands the masculine part. I mean, you can have divine feminine in the male's body and divine masculine in the female's body, but that's when the male with the female energy have to understand that masculine energy, something gets missing there. And at the same time, the woman with masculine energy have to understand, hey, you also have to embrace your feminine side. The reason is that you have to unite your feminine and masculine energies from within. Okay, and during the mirroring process, the mirroring process has no limit from within the universe. And it's kind of like a specific frequency between two people. That it's a very precise, high vibrational that can really telepathic works. I mean, you think about someone and a very high vibes, and all of a sudden they call you, and it's like, I mean, you all experiencing this mirroring and all this telepathy. The mirroring, though, it's gonna be weird. To some of you, it's gonna be very weird because all of a sudden, for example, you might be, if you're twin flame, it's a left-handed, you're the right-handed. Okay. You just one day you go and you use your left hand like normally, and you're like, what happened? Nothing. You just had a exchanging informations between, and now you embrace that energy that works within your brain. Now you guys are exchanging things. That's what the mirroring effect is to help you to develop the same equality of give and take. But if the one person just takes and the other one gives, guess what? The one is going to be empty, so is the other one. Because the other one is going to consume already everything they got and they have nothing left. And the other guys give everything they got and they got nothing left. Usually that's when the separation just kind of like blow. And it's separations. Ego. That's what I want to say on it. But you got to be very careful because during the mirroring effects, let me explain a little bit more differently. I am looking for something. Looking at for something here. Okay. All right then. So there you go. Two packs of cigarettes. Okay, they're two different pictures, right? But now they see each other, and they know they're the same cigarettes inside of them, right? There is two different pictures for. And if the one says I'm like this and the other one I'm like that, guess what happens? You begin to have differences. And that's what usually people do. They're looking at the outlook instead of looking at that they were made in the same place. They have the same content and they have the same shell, just different look. But their internal part is the same thing. They have cigarettes in there. And that's what this is. Now the question is sometimes the people can mirror different things with vibrations. That is a manipulations with the vibes, and things could be a little different. We're talking about totally different situations. All right. CJ. Yep, Dio, that's what has been all about. Turning my focus inwards and do the inner work. Exactly. You do your inner work. You're going to be proud of yourself. The inner work is most rewarding thing you do, not only for yourself, but it's more rewarding for everyone around. You don't realize how powerful that is. Because when you do your inner work, okay, you actually transmute it out there in the universe, but also you transmute it with the people that are around you, and you transmute it to people who have a similar problem like yours, and they're coming to you. You probably experienced this awkward synchronicity that you did the inner work, and also the sudden as somebody comes in, it's like, hey, you know what, I have this problem, and guess what, you're just like, oh, I'll help you. I just got it done. I just got it done, right? And you're like, why when I getting with this problems or I figure out these things, all these people come to me? Because you're transmuting it. The universe use your inner work. You're the tool of the universe. You're the tool of the hands of God to help others. That is your destiny as a twin flame. Okay? I mean, you can have whatever profession you want to have. This was going to happen to you when you're a twin flame. You sharing the things because of the benefits of the society. That is one of the surgeons who performs a very powerful surgery. Okay, he begins and he goes into the this medical college and he teaching the students. He's sharing it. That is the same thing. Someone goes out there and figure out internal problems. Here we go. He's sharing it. We begin as a twin flames to share things about spiritual psychology now. What we have found. They cannot solve our problems. Some of them, where they studied psychology for years and years and years, guess what? They have no idea. Yeah, but sometimes we have to go to them and it's like, hey, about this silence issues. It's like, what is this? And now you learned that it's a human behavior situation. Okay? But sometimes you have to zip it up so you can protect yourself. Okay? That is the ego. The ego will shut down communications with your twin flame. If you have to protect yourself, you'll do one way or another. Okay? Faster, I have strange desire to leave my old life behind when I come in the union. Amazing, you mentioned that. You have strange desire. Don't have the desires. You can have strange energy in you that helping you to do the inner work, but don't have desire. Okay? What you have to do is like, I have this energy. I have to see what kind of actions I have to perform. And I will ask for these actions to be given a chance to have those actions to perform so I can be in a union. Okay? And you might gonna find out within yourself the reasons why you cannot perform these actions. When you understand the reasons, when you evolve, you will be pretty much like this. You're gonna be getting an opportunity to have your actions going. But if you procrastinate, if you don't do the right thing, if you just mind your own business, guess what? It's not gonna happen. You need to understand desires. Okay, they are projections of the ego. Okay, actions proves all your situations of which is in your soul, in your spirit. Your spirit has the power to create those actions to happen. Okay, because most of the people who lacking actions, because everything is a desire only. There is no effort, there is no energies in there. It's only a pure desire of the ego. It doesn't work with the energy from universe. That's how some of those desires that the people have, they don't come up to manifestations. They will never come up to manifestation. They're not blessed. That's what the blessing is. You do actions on the base of the soul. You do all this energy that's put in. You get those actions for it. Here you go. Things will happen. All right. I thought that was the weird, my sudden desire to forget my family. Just move somewhere else with my twin. Desires again, but moving with your twin. Here is the thing, though. Moving with twin or soulmate and the higher realm and everything, it's you guys have to be ready on 100%. You're not ready on 100%. Ain't not gonna happen. Tell you that from now on. Okay. I mean, you're probably gonna suffer. You guys gonna be kind of like pushing through or anything like this. If there is no trust, respect, honesty, intimacy, okay. I'm not talking about sex. Sex is not intimacy. Sex has nothing pretty much to do. It's the final thing of honest intimacy, physical intimacy, which is totally different. And I explain in some of the videos what the twin flame intimacy is, a gift from God, and people still don't get it. All right, let's see. Roswell Sirius. Yes, that's another one. I think surrender in indifference. Because that journey becomes secondary to myself, growth and discovery. If humanity comes into my life, then I accept her, but till then, you accept yourself first. If you're waiting to your twin flame to accept you, okay, they maybe accept you or maybe do not. And here is that delay. Lindy Cowling said, don't put your life on hold because you're waiting on the twin. See, your twin maybe has a different issues to solve than you do. All right? Because you two, if you have an age difference, for example, or religion difference, for example, you have two different things to overcome. Those are two different things. If their religion doesn't allow them to be with your religion, guess what? It has to be overcome. But if your religion allows somebody to be married with their religion, you got no problems, you got no issues. Then what? Do you think God has put religion between the twin flames? Or let's say, like, for example, in India, there is a different caste. Because he's a poor and she's from a rich family, they cannot get married. And guess what the ego does? It's a real story, by the way. Okay? It's a real story. All right? The father doesn't want to accept her and she moves out with her twin flame. She gets pregnant and then she goes to see her father to ask for forgiveness and like let the things be okay. Guess what the father does? He gets her, he ties her with the rope. So guess what? The husband finds out, he comes in too, and together her father and the brother, his brother and so on, they tied both of them together and they lit him on fire. And then the police comes in, but it was too late for her. Sad stories, but that's how that is. Because that story is teaching us of all this. So acceptance of the twin flame, you first of all have to accept yourself within you, deep in you. While you do the final acceptance and everything, can you tell them, listen, I accept you as who you are. But if they lie you who they are, that is a problem in there. Right there. And that's why the divine God is like, no compromise. and there you're not 100% truth with God, or with your twin flame. There is no. I've seen it quite a few times, and it's not the right. Let's take this vibes out too. Okay, but focus on you. Inspire yourself. Look at yourself. Go buy a nice clothes for you. Go improve. Go show up your power as a twin flame. Go out there into this big, dark, bad world and show up who you are. Lead up your match and your soul. Go feed the birds. Go pet the dogs, the street dogs that nobody pets them, right? Guess what? Everyone deserves love. Okay? Go and do a simple human things. All right? Go put your shopping cart, inside of the store instead of living next to your car. Simple things. Begin with that, with simple things. Improve, empower yourself. Given an example in life of how it's supposed to be. Or grab your cup of coffee and instead of the waiter comes in and get it. What's that? What's that cost you? Your ego. That's what cost you. But what do you gain? You gain humanity, a dignity. You show up the other that you respect. You show up love. You give an example how the people can be a good people too. That's what you are, twin flame. Okay, that's what it is. It's an amazing to me how the journey is the same yet very different for all the twins. The lesson have to reach us and teach us that we can understand these high vibes. Gosh, these high vibes. There is some days it's like I'm in my bed and it's like this high vibes is waking me up and I'm like, not another day. Oh no. And my eyes hurts. I want to sleep, but I can't. The vibes are high. And I get up and I move and guess what? I make myself a coffee at 3:30 in the morning and I sit down here on a computer. I go on Facebook and all of a sudden somebody needs help. Yeah, it is what it is. That's how it goes. I mean, the high vibes of the planets. I mean, if you take a look, the vibes now and the vibes we had about 10 years ago, the vibes now are actually more heavy. And for us, we learned how to navigate them. We just begin to learn to navigate them. Even for some of us, Mercury retrograde is like a piece of cake. While you remember, you're probably the first time you felt the difference within the vibrations as Mercury retrograde and this energy of communication and need and desire for communication and how bad you want a day to communicate with you. Ooh, you probably know what I'm talking about. This desire for communication with your twin flame during retrograde. These 5D energies, they're like, you can't even find a spot. You can't even escape from it. Now it's manageable. You understand it's like, you know what? I don't want to be on 5D, but you know what? All right. Yeah. We learned it. But we don't give ourselves a credit that we learned it. You got to give yourself a credit. If nobody gives you the credit, you got to give it to yourself. If nobody gives you love, you have to give it to yourself. Whatever you're missing from others, that's mean it's missing in you. And that's what you give. You heal. Okay? You heal yourself like this. It's an amazing to me how the journey. Okay. How do you validate your TF? Uh, validation of a twin flame, it happens only, and that validation with a twin flame, it comes in with God. And you need to understand there's some other things in our perception and understanding about twin flames. It's far, far in the beginning. We know things about twin flames that much. Okay? Just that much. Twin flames is the beginning of building a new way of society. But if I have to validate, the only validation that is when you are there, they're there, and the God presence in there. And there is some kind of like events that actually show off in the real world that guess what? It's there. And it's gonna be very powerful moment. Okay, especially with the acceptance. Once you accept this and the divine is there, you guys will understand who's validating your twin. It's not you. If you think you validate your twin, no. If you think they validate you, no. It's divine powers. And when you play with the divine powers, they see what it is. Okay, and the current base of state between two people who's got the same things from within and the divine, it's orchestrate those two to be together at this time with this presence within the divine. That is validation of twin flames. Okay, when everybody else sees it around, everybody sees your light, everybody sees the shine parts. That right there in the soul. However, those two, they can be two different materialistic, egoistic based personalities. If they act in this egoistic based personalities, there won't be a twin flame. They're just, guess what? They don't use the power of God they give them. And then guess what? You're not validating anything with this because you can't validate something that actually it's already broken. How can you validate something that is broken? Okay, only God can validate the twin flames. And there is a part that a lot of the people think it's a game or gaming or anything like this. I mean, I see some people that they think who this or that. No. Divine presence. And I'll tell you, you don't want to mess with the divine presence. I'm just giving you a heads up on this. Because there is some people who interfere with the person who wake me up. And I seen what the divine does. I seen performance of the divine that does. And yeah, karma is a bitch. Yeah, hopefully that answer your question, Nourish. Heal life after all. Appreciate the confirmation. Yeah, we think that by going with the divine and we can play games with the divine doesn't want to play games. You think divine is all about seriousness? No, divine wants you to enjoy. Divine wants you to be loved. Divine wants you to be happy more than you do. God wants you to be happy more than you do. But guess what? You're stubborn. You want to reinvent the wheel. You want to go around, cut corners of inner work. You don't want to change. You don't want to surrender. You want everything for you. This animal part, okay? For example, go ahead and watch monkeys. What drop, let's say, like a bag of bananas on a few monkeys in there. Guess what? There's gonna be if they're little pieces, there's gonna be a one of this monkey that's gonna go over there, and instead of realizing, everybody can have one banana, it's gonna be okay. That's one monkey brings the 3, 4 bananas with her, and she fights with others not to give them. I mean, we still got the animal part inside of us that we are overcoming. We have to overcome this animal part in us to become the spiritual evolutions that we are. What about the relationship? Hi, Hessa. What about the relationship between two-person? One of his south node is the other moon. It's karmic. A little bit hard information. What about relationship between the spiritual awakening? That is the twinest part, a gift from God, right there. Yes, but guess what? Are we taking that gift? You know how many people they take that gift and then they just, oh no, because of someone, by a family, or any other cases. Oh yeah. Hessa, I don't understand your question. It's kind of like what about relationship between Toe? Is that a two-person? One his south node is the other moon. If the moon is in your south node, that could be someone who's been a mother in your past life, or feminine representations of energy, but also that person, if now you are a twin flames. I try not to mix the twin flames with in astrology, because astrology shows up what you have to do. If you want to find out what's going on between you and your twin flame as a astrology, you're going to need a 3D picture from astrology. It's like one chart here, one chart here, and when you guys got together, energy, when God presence was there, and then you got to look at it this from like a pyramidal structure, and I cannot put it into myself in this, even though that doesn't confirm in astrology, doesn't confirm who is your twin, but show up the things that you need to do. You need to work on it. Okay, that's what this is. Okay. But if the moon is got aspects, you need to look at it, because the moon gives you vibrations from the past to remind you who you are. If the moon has a little different aspect, Hessa, and they're connected, and it's depend what zodiac sign is as well. That kind of like will determine it. What was the issue in there? Okay. I mean, if you want, I can look it up the charts. If you can send it to me, that would be great. For Rate of Light, have to go. Thank you for your time and sharing, Gio. Sharing love to you for the next week for your operations. Rate of Light, thank you. I appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for all of you for the support. I think he's not my twin. We both have this thing. Oh, well, if you both have this thing, your moon is south node, in your moon and his south node, and you definitely have a lot of vibrations together from the past, because the moon represents emotions, but also represents vibes. But that will be opposing. See, if the moon it's if his moon, it's in your south node, if there, it's also have to look the correlations between them. I would love to see your chart and his chart. Get me on Facebook and we'll discuss it. How about it? Yes, yes, and yes. All right. If you guys have some any questions more, let me know. Still don't have your Facebook name. My Facebook is Dio Veselino, same like the channel. If you want to get a link in the banner of the YouTube and the corner of the banner, you will see PayPal or Facebook. You can click on the Facebook and you can get there. Okay. And you can catch me there on the Facebook. You've been healing wonderfully over the years. Beloved dear. Thank you, Empress. I appreciate it. And hopefully we're going to talk some more, do some things more about it. And we'll get into this. Faster all, how did you come to know all this info? How can we learn more? Knowing the info, it's a download from the universe. I studied basic astrology back maybe 20 years ago here, and I graduate basic interpretation of astrology chart. I learned how to make them. Back in the days, there was no softwares. There was only one book, big giant book with all numbers. And you have to do a calculations, and you draw these charts, and then you go into the funny part of digging through the books and then make interpretation. Astrology is not a hard learning, but it's not for everybody. Okay, it's available to everybody, but by destiny, you gotta be having it from within you. There is something within you with an occult part. Okay, it's just energy that it's in there. How can we learn more? You can learn more by put the love in you. The love is the key to knowing. The love can give you guidance. The divines can give you a guidance. That's what truly the part is in there. But most of us, we don't get to these divine powers. Why? Because we have desires. If you remove the desires, what's left? Whatever it's meant to be. And that's what this new age of Aquarius will be, whatever it's meant to be. Because age of Aquarius is, I fix it myself for the benefits of the society, the benefits of everybody. And that's what we do. You end up in the wrong relationships because you haven't fixed your own crap inside of you. That's what goes. You're not happy. You're not happy because of what? Because you have a lazy bump to work on you. And now you will see how others doing the inner work and you're not doing it. So guess what? The society helps you to change, to be awakened, to be accepted by the society. But guess what? You need to understand you're an individual. You don't have to be accepted by a society. And that's going to be the new rule, that you're not going to give a damn about a society. You're a rebel within the society to help the society. It's kind of like a little contradiction, but that's what that is. All right. But the TF info, that was downloads and the research. I will say yes, no, maybe, and I'll tell yes, no, and maybe. The S part, the informations about the twin flames that came into when I was ignited. personal relationships and a few soul-based connect relationships, and research. I did the research at the beginning. That's where I say yes, no, and maybe. Okay. I use this Niptonizations, kind of like confusion, but look at it. That's what the whole truth is, because I did all three. Okay, I did the personal experience. I helped a lot of people with their experiences. I learned from their experiences. I did some research for it, and that's how you learn. The more you learn, the more experience you get, and then you feel the vibes. Even I don't know who the person is, but I feel the energy of what they're writing to me, and they get the same energy that I send out through the camera, and they're like, yeah, that's what it is. That's how it goes. But we have to learn to trust that energy. Okay, not kind of like a flower and okay, it's a flower. I'll go ahead and cut it off. I can have it for me. You, as soon as you cut the flower, is dead. Okay, leave it in the garden where it needs to grow. All right. So much of seems like I'm making this up. That's where we trust intuition and move away from ego. Fast row. You saying make it up? Why are you saying it making it up? You have a lack of belief, or you haven't seen a performance of divine. Or even if you have performance of divine, you may be like Saint Thomas, who doesn't believe that Jesus resurrected. There's something in there you need to look from within. Some ideal, man. I know if these songs are channeled messages. I just joined. What songs you talk about? I post the movies. I post the movies because those are the twin flame movies for it. But all those movies, they have very good songs as a twin flames, and some yeah, you got it. Okay, because you were talking about twin flame movies. I already watched them. The music actually have it in me. I mean, it's in my phone. Okay, I mean, it's right in here, and that's what it is. And for example, there is a one Indian song. I will play it a little bit for you. Okay. Um, mm, that is a pretty good twin flame. I'll post it over. I'll post it here because that movie, Mary Brother Killed Ulhan. Okay, how's the brother looks for the bride, but he finds his twin flame. It's gonna be a very good movie if you guys can find it and watch it in there. All right. And we want to go to end up with this because I already been here for almost in 3 hours on the phone and talking all the time. I just kind of like I need a little break. But I'll post this for you guys.
It can be hard to get your big idea started, to write the first lines of code for software.
There you go. For me, the twin just seems off my head. I have the truth, but the spiritual and the connection divine, I have faith, and I believe that have experience in that. Yes, Pastor O, when you once you've seen so much, when you've been through so much, when you realize so much, then you don't doubt anymore. I mean, there's going to be some times that you're going to be doubting yourself, your own insanity, maybe, but you're going to go ahead and look from within, and you will understand all you fight in you, your human-based behaviors. And when you understand your human-based behaviors, what they were wrong, you change into a soul-based, divine behaviors. And that is the beauty of that twin flame transition that we do. That is it, the beauty in there. That's the beauty of love, and that's what I want to leave in you with you guys. Okay. Salva, this live actually it's gonna be posted. You can rewatch the whole thing. Okay. I'm sorry it came in late, but I was already been here an hour and 40 minutes, and before that I did the astrology report. And I wish I could stay more, but I need to do some other things as well. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. I hope we had a great time. I hope you guys learn a lot. And I hope I will see you tomorrow. We'll figure out what we're going to talk about it. I do everyday live chat. Probably I will do it late as well. That way there's going to be some more people here. Thank you guys, and be loved.